Forgive me, I'm not saying more schooling at the age of 10 to 15. I'm saying require the necessity for education up until the age of 21. Like how we say in our society, once you hit 18, you're an adult, you're done with school, you can choose to do college, but, don't do it, it's a liberal breeding factory or whatever, right? Instead of that, we just have a increased lower education platform up until the age of 21. So let's say, hypothetically, extend middle school for 2 years, especially as that's the most, developmental standpoint of one's life, and then do it 2 years for college or high school.
Here's why I disagree. By the way, I think you're on the right track, though. Your thinking is on the right train. Let me put it that way, right? But to my opinion, we do have to actually have and this is where progressivism itself fails, is that you do, in my opinion, have to have a class of people who are, want to be educated, and people who do not, they don't care about being educated, right?
Is that
In
inherent?
America, we have to.
Well, I was going to ask, is that inherent with children or the way parents indoctrinate their children?
I just wanted to add
It's
the school that you go to, or the amount of schooling that you go through, doesn't affect your G factor. It's something that's really heavily tied to biology. Going to school doesn't really make you smarter. In that's sense.
True.
So this G factor thing is not going to be affected by your schooling.
Do you think G factor is the only way we should measure intelligence, though?
No.
Do you think IQ
that's the best way to measure intelligence, yeah.
But it's not. I mean,
do you think it's the most effective way to measure intelligence?
No. Let me. I mean, Gaston disagrees with me, but let me give you my answer. G factor is like one part of how we've tried to create these tests, and we've had lots of problems with it. I think that in general, we really don't have a way to test general intelligence. We only
Exactly.
All we really have is ways to test like
cognitive abilities,
lower levels of intelligence, of like, can you complete all these like geometry tasks and math tasks that every single fucking person should understand and know? It's like, yes, we can get there, but the G factor, I think, is actually pretty well studied. In terms of, the reason we keep saying G factor is because when you look into how the American government has tried to design national testing standards, they spent a lot of money trying to figure this out. And obviously, at the end goal, let me say out front, at the end goal, they failed. And that's why the DOE just got removed, is because creating national standards amongst 100 million people is a stupid idea. It's just a very stupid idea.
Well, also from what I'm reading, it seems to me that G factor is, at the end of the day, just like IQ, like a handy tool that we create.
No, wrong.
Measure intelligence. It is not objectively something that is tied to your. You know what I mean. It is not like a biological organ that we can measure and run tests on.
That's true.
It's a concept.
That is true.
That's true, yeah.
That is true. The G factor is generally used outside. They added the G factor to try and actually pick students out who were like high performing or low performing. And the G factor was kind of a better way to measure that than even the answers that they gave on the test, right? And that's what I mean. Like, you can look into it, and like you can look into the whole history and study in scientific research of why they created G factor, and I think that's also interesting to look into. But as far as I can tell, it's actually pretty well placed. I would agree that measuring intelligence is an impossible task, but measuring competence is actually a very easy task.
What do you mean by that?
So it's like, can you work at a McDonald's? Well, clearly you could, right? You pass that competence. Can you work at a, X or Y or Z? It's
right.
a
Yeah,
competence.
I thought you meant something else. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so black people are less competent overall. That's what we find.
Generally speaking, I mean, are they? Yeah, I don't want to. Well, this is the problem, right? Is like, I don't even mind getting racist, but I shouldn't be. I shouldn't be, because that's not the way forward. But I have 1,000 black racist motherfuckers saying the most racist shit. It's like, oh, let me just try. How long should white people ignore that black people are explicitly anti-white racist? Right? You can only ignore that shit for so long.
Yeah, this and critical race theory really promotes anti-white racism because it takes away all the blame on their own genes, which is why they underperform, and puts it on the shoulders of white people who oppressed them forever.
Well,
are still
to
oppressing them.
be completely fair, I think critical race theory doesn't really care about genes.
That's what I'm saying. They, in fact, they take every opportunity that they possibly can to take anything that could be blamed on genetics, and they blame it on white people.
No.
Sounds similar to leftism.
Critical race theory was born out of leftism.
Well,
critical theory was, and critical race theory is an offshoot of like Marxian theory, yeah, but forgive me, just because I'm confused of what you're describing as an inverse of being then blamed equally so all on white people. Can you describe that one for me?
Yeah, so like they don't like the intelligence thing, like they'll blame the IQ gap on environment. They will never accept that genetics play a role.
IQ is also factored by environment and nutrition, though. You do agree with that, correct?
Yeah.
If you denying it in its.
If you grow up being starved, like if you literally have nothing to eat, then yeah, your IQ is probably going to be pretty low. I'm not disagreeing that your environment plays some role into your IQ. Like if you get shot in the head, your IQ
well, it's more nutrition being the type of foods that are actually in your area, the potential food deserts, so on and so forth. An environment would be what is a location that is good for one's psychological development.
I'm sorry.
But when
having access only to a fucking Safeway instead of, jacking the box. The food desert thing is a total lie. As an explanation, food deserts exist, but that is not.
Well, food deserts. I was just using
where
that.
The black rigor is that.
Do you know why food deserts exist? It's because they rob all the fucking
That's
stores.
exactly right.
Dude.
You're right. It's capitalism, bro. Capitalists want to sell. I promise you, they don't care if you're black, white, Asian, or anything. They just want to take your money. And the reason you have a food desert, as said, right, it's because it's the black community. Sorry, brothers, you guys destroy local business because if you can't have it for free, I'll take it for free.
Literally, no one is saying that capitalism specifically targets, I don't know, fucking like black people and making them suffer. Capitalism does not.
The truth is that capitalism actually does, and they blame it on white people. Capitalism targets
no. I think you're misunderstanding that sort of line of logic. I think what they're more saying is there are structural problems that black people face because of the past. Well, like...
Oh, I've never heard this argument before.
But you're interrupting me. Which, well, results them being a high chance of becoming like a poor community, whatever. Which then results in, all that foot shit. Like they're whatever. I don't even know what the food desert thing you're talking about because I'm not from US and I don't
That's
think
why your
like,
arguments are retarded. But keep going. Make arguments against America. Go.
against America. I'm not telling arguments against America. I'm just
You're making
saying,
arguments for black communities in America. You don't even know what food deserts are. Like,
I'm
We
not
need a
making
Bolshevik
arguments.
revolution.
in my opinion,
We
I
need a
agree. We
Bolshevik
do need a
revolution.
Bolshevik revolution.
We
Who threw
do.
that out?
all you are
We
looking
do.
for is social approval here. It's like you're not
I-
even dealing
I'm
with
an
here.
Amer-
You don't even know
I'm
what the fuck's going on here.
I'm an American. I'm a Marxist-Leninist, but
We need a national socialist revolution.
yeah, that's not gonna fucking happen, buddy.
I think a
I
large
think
part of what is
We need a
actually
Maoist
crazy-
revolution. We need the best of
We need a-
revolutions.
we
We
need
need a
Marxist
Maoist
revolution. I don't mean a
revolution.
Stalin. We need a Stalin-like figure.
We need to kill all the sparrows. Come on, guys. We need to do it.
We need to purge the homosexuals. We need to purge the transgenders.
I don't know about that.
outlaw
I just want to
women.
kill the sparrows.
Well, I just want to get rid of the homosexuals and the trannies and the cross-dressers.
But what have they done to you that makes you hate them so?
Because they're socially degenerates and they're trying to infiltrate society to poison the general public.
They're trying to
with their-
genocide the white race by turning everybody gay.
Not even just a white race. They're trying to genocide all races because they want to make everybody homosexual. They want to make everybody
Don't
gay.
brain rot it.
Yo, are you serious?
Yes,
I
I'm
think this
serious. I
guy's-
truly
You're
believe it.
delusional. You're delusional.
And it's true. It's true. You know, a person in Congress,
needed.
an LGBT activist in the White House said, your kids. You're pro-LGBT. Why are you pro-LGBT? Why do you care about
Why
this?
is it only women that are pro-LGBT? Why is
It's
it
always
only
women. Yeah, exactly. It's always women who like love gay
I would
guys
say
so much.
because
and,
women have a higher
it's
emotional
trans-
intelligence and they can understand.
No, it's because women are
Yeah, it's because they have
accepting.
self-empathy.
Real quick. Women are actually. I actually got a little understanding.
Women
of
are
this
always
from days ago.
social progressive
Women-
and they're allowed to have thought.
It's not that. It's not that. That's not the answer. The answer is that women are willing to be dominated. In fact, it is their curse.
You guys are so
To-
fucking cool.
So
to be dominated.
This
And-
is
and
so
through-
retarded.
through
So-
all of
dominate
history-
you.
through all
so
of history. Can I put the point forward? Through
No,
all
you
of
can't.
history.
You got.
Yeah, I will. Then I'll yell it forward, bro. The point.
Roll of history, you've been retarded, my man.
All of history, women get women get captured, bro, and taken. No one wants to hear reality. No one wants to know the truth.
what does that have to do with Teen China on a Friday night?
It changes the psychology of all of women. They're not like a man is not willing to be taken captive and subsumed into another culture. That's just not. It's against. We'll die at their fence.
I guess
But-
I guess my only question is this: other than like cases of like the worst forms of worst terrorists, how often do we see nations just running in and stealing women?
Not in the recent age, in the last 50 years, not very much. But how much are you actually a student of history? Because it sounds like if you're going to make that kind of opinion, it sounds like you're an idiot, and you really haven't discovered or looked into history at all. Because this is the exact.
But this is like the idiocy of saying, "Oh, women necessarily are the subservient or the subservient class."
That's obviously true.
How is it obviously true?
In every single piece of society that we could ever find history, written history, or any other type of example, there's no civilization in the entire history of Earth where women have run it.
Queen Elizabeth, Cleopatra.
Wrong.
Queen Elizabeth
Just say you
didn't
hate women
control
at
her
this point.
country.
I don't know.
Wrong. Like I'm just saying, like, do you not even know your history? So you're saying Queen Elizabeth ran the UK? It was ran by women? Or in Cassia, the Egyptian goddess that you mentioned, sorry, what's her name?
Cleopatra. Yes, she
Cleopatra.
is my Egyptian
She was
goddess.
in
You got that
control.
right, baby. My Egyptian queen.
I'm just saying, you have no idea what you're talking about because it's clear you don't have any idea what you're talking about.
You're absolutely right. There have never been women rulers. You know what, dude? You just like beat me, bro. You beat me at this debate. There's never been a woman ruler. But we should have voted in Sarah Palin. We should have had our first woman president.
Oh, now you gotta move to... Can you please find some safety? Because you're fucking sinking in quicksand right now. There was no woman ruler of Egypt. Now, of course, we all recognize, Cassiopeia, whatever the fuck her name is.
Cleopatra.
Cleopatra. I play too much League of Legends. Cleopatra, right? And Cleopatra is in what era? I'm just curious if you even know what you're talking about.
That would be Caesar, so that's...
Time period.
Forgive me, I'm going off my head, but that's Caesar, so 2 to 300 BC? A safe bet is range of 100 to 400 BCE. But, going off the top of my head playing video games.
Okay, no, that's not too far off. Close to roughly hundreds of years within the age of Jesus, right? And as they put it.
Definitely before, because give unto Caesar as, however the Bible says it, just give unto Caesar.
I find it interesting that the Egyptian place was as old as Jesus is to us, and Cleopatra is actually a little bit older. I got that wrong. She's older, but the creation of the pyramids is as equally far back to them as it was to us. Right? We're talking about 2,000 years in the past, and they would have been talking about 2,000 years in the past.
Yep. The span of time sure is amazing, especially with how small our footprint has been recorded on this earth and all that we've done. So the fact that we had somebody like Cleopatra rule the land as a vassal state under the Roman Empire is superb.
It is good. It helps us unite parts of history, for sure.
So I guess going back on like the anti-woman tirade, and this will be the final thing because I need to get going. So are you pro-women's vote and women in the workplace? Or are you anti that?
Well, I would put it this way: we're already stuck in the system of women voting, and so we're gonna have to run this shit out. But we won't reach the peak end. I will die before we reach the peak end of how this goes. But in general, it's a bad system. It's not going to work. Like it's not going to provide new prosperity, feminism, or any of these ideas. They're not going to provide us new. Oh my God, women! Do you think women figured it out? That's never going to happen. Never once in our lifetime.
Yeah, but that's why I'm more focused on asking. Do you think we need to go back to traditional style of, women not in the workplace, women not being allowed to vote? No. Or do you think that it's going to be a continuous practice and that you would be in support of? Like, are you going to be like with Andrew Wilson marching on the street, like, no women voting? Or are you going to be like, hey, yeah, you can vote?
No, I'm more on the side of you can vote and you're all wrong.
I respect that opinion.
What?
Based.
Okay.
Well,
just got off the call with this streamer on TikTok. She was filibustering hard because I didn't use the right word for murder. I said murdering a fetus, and she's like, murder means this in a legal context, and I'm like, I'm using it colloquially, and she's like, no, but Oxford says, and so I said, okay, I'll use a different word, and then she pivoted to, well, you said reproductive rights, and that includes this and this and this, and you're saying you're against all of this, and oh man, that was embarrassing.
Well, fuck, I wanted to go, but I feel like this is going to be an interesting conversation.
Women, let me make it more interesting. right? Women in general, and there's one woman in the channel, so I promise this is not against you or anything, but women in general have a very big opinion on abortion because, in my opinion, and I've tried to figure this out, is that not right? They have right. They've been propagandized, like, oh, this is my rights, these are my personal
100%.
rights. But in general, the bigger problem is, I mean, of course, that women don't want to be mothers. Right. They were born on. They feel like they were born on this planet. They would feel like they were born on this planet to be, I don't know, just like the receivers of all of men's options. Like all of our work, we just give it to the women. Like what are they thinking when they're like saying they don't want to be mothers? I'm sorry, your pussy is only good for being a mother. That's the only purpose of your pussy.
Is that the only purpose of life, though? Because I know you're religious, and you, I think, would not argue against nunneries. You're not religious. Okay, so are you just opposed to the idea of institutions having nuns inherently?
Of nuns?
Yes.
Nuns, to me, is like a concept in Europe. It's not a thing that we have in America.
We have nuns in America.
When I say nuns, that's like a... Okay, I've never seen a nun in America.
Of course, we have nuns in America.
Yeah, of course we do.
But okay. Sorry. Say it one more time. Let me address the actual concept.
Do you, with all that you were entailing, does that mean that you are completely morally opposed to the idea of nuns within Christianity? Because they're not, fulfilling their natural drive as you're describing.
No, I'm not. No, correct. Okay, so sorry. Yeah, that's actually a fine question. No, I'm not opposed. I have no claim on like all females should do this or that. This is not like a Muslim society in my view of it. But we have to do this to all women. It's not that. It's more that women should be much better informed. That, and it's a hard thing to say. But I think we actually do better information on the male side as well. To be like, bro, sorry, you're not going to be a queen princess. And in fact, actually, this is the better way. This is the right way. And people say this, and women don't want to hear it, right? Like for example, the Guillaume here in the channel, they don't want to hear these kind of things. I can kind of understand. I try to do my best to understand. Like when I'm 21 years old as a male, can I really? Here's it, right? The prescription for male and female is different, and the females don't want that to be the case, right? But sorry, biology tells us very directly. If I'm 40 years old and you're 40 years old, I can still make healthy babies as a male. You cannot. You need a hospital.
Chrono, it's a little confusing to me, only because, right, you're saying it's not a prescription, and you're even allowing what is an instance a caveat, but then you're going back into how it does prescribe them to then fulfill this natural necessity of their biological drive, where it sounds a bit hypocritical. And I'm not saying you are a hypocrite. I'm saying that you would allow instances of people to avert their natural biological drive, whereas then you still prescribe it amongst all women inherently. Do you not see how that's a bit of issue?
Let me try and answer that question. I don't. When you say, is it a bit of an issue? I don't accept the framing because, like, men are willing to fuck 100,000 women through their lifetime. And give babies to 1,000 different women, right? That's just the nature of how. If I can.
Is it virtue? Is it virtuous just to produce bastards or have a good functioning family unit?
No. I mean, but that would be like right? Should we be monogamous? Should we, right? We could have that debate. I'm just saying, men's nature. People are evolving amongst their nature now even further. Right? Men have been, by the way. So, should we be monogamous? So you would agree with me? That's the base question, right?
No, the base question
women.
is.
That's what protects women.
monogamy protects women? No,
Yes.
liberal societies do. We allow women to have guns. We allow them rights to, you know, bring people who like rape them to charge, because that's a big issue in India for some fucking reason.
They don't like rape.
We let women drive. Like,
Great, that's the crazy one.
holy
That's
shit,
the one I
dude!
couldn't
We allow
do.
them to get credit cards now.
Right.
Like,
Right.
I feel like
They're all
what provides better protections for women is not just monogamy. It's the society that we have and produce.
That is a society of men protecting women, right? Would you agree? Is it women protecting women? What is the society you're describing? It's men protecting women, right?
No, it's the strong protecting the weak.
No, it's not.
It's the strong protecting the weak.
Right, which is women.
No, because I can easily say I'm weak and I need a big strong man to come protect me. Mr. Police Officer, there's somebody with a gun. What are you on?
Yeah, but I mean, like, so guns are kind of an equalizer, but in most contexts, like, women don't have a gun, they can't protect themselves, they need men
I
to
agree,
protect them.
and I think all three of the men here, Guillaume, we're all gonna yell at you. Buy a gun, learn how to use it. Pepper spray's fucking retarded.
Yeah, but reality
hey,
is
don't hate on my pepper
most
spray,
women
bro.
are
Come
most
on.
women are not gonna do that.
The only person who's gonna yell at you is gonna be the liberal guy who's trying to find his way to your pussy.
Hell yeah.
That's
There
the
ain't
only
You
nothing
guy
know,
wrong
let
with
me
that.
white knight over here.
Act emotional. That's the only guy. Right. That's the only guy who's gonna act emotional about the topic.
God forbid men have emotions. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I know. Women love to say, "Please show me your emotion,"
Didn't
and then as soon as they do, oh my God, this guy is such a weak little bitch.
I mean,
obvious.
No, I mean,
I've been through so
unfortunately,
many-
yeah, sure, some women, but not all women, sure. And that's a problem, I agree. Women
Women
shouldn't do
don't
that.
understand.
Men.
Women don't understand why men hold their cards close to their chest.
Karna,
It's not for
what-
women. It's not for
Yes, we
women.
do.
It's for their defense against other men.
because no, I will actually say this. It's because we have a toxic masculinity issue in the United States where for some reason men, and I can say this, men have issue with sharing their fucking emotions with other men, and then when you do, it's gay. It's of issue. It's ruining the dynamic of the friend dynamic or whatever
Holy
of the group.
add-on, bro.
Like,
You do
Attack
sound
Dark
pretty
Men, not
gay.
him.
He's right.
yeah, you know what? And I'll suck a dick to
Okay.
say this truth. I'm sorry you disagree.
Well, no one's gonna listen to a gay person.
It's so sad that in our
Dude, you
society
sound
I cannot
pretty
tell
zesty
my
yourself.
friend
I mean,
how I
two sides of
feel.
the same coin.
Well, all I'm gonna say is it is sad in our society with how fucked it is. I cannot go to my friend and comfortably tell him the issues with my relationship or something, and not have a sneaking societal qualm where I then have to pay a fucking therapist instead because they are required not.
Good part.
Please go, Crown. What were you saying?
Part of society. That's actually, in my opinion, that is a good part of society. What would you say? Preserving maleness or masculinity is a good part of society. I easily shit on, but I don't want to make it about that. But like people growing up, how are you man? What makes you male? What makes you a man, bro?
Being true to my word
of
and
it
helping
is
those
all
that are.
It's not. No, you're wrong.
I perceive
You're
as
wrong,
inferior.
you're wrong.
There are aspects of being a man inherent to what is your attribute and character societally, but like all these notions of prescribing what a man is a bit ridiculous. It's the aspects in which you act. You know why my voice is shit? Yeah, it's because I had my tonsils removed because God wanted to kill me at 2, but we said fuck you.
You're speaking emotionally. You're speaking emotionally, bro.
So are you.
That is a
Sure
problem
not.
I've noticed is that because women tend to argue from emotion, men are doing that more. That's a real problem.
You do realize that outside of what
Dude,
is
don't
in.
be mad. Okay, let me
What-
know when you're
all I'm-
done fucking bitching, bro.
Forgive me. All I was gonna say, my bitching over here, is that you do realize one of the biggest appeals to people is emotion and not direct logic, right?
Sure, yeah, but that's because people are stupid, so they're not going to listen to logic in a lot of cases.
I agree, but if I want people to come to my side, I will be emotional or hyperbolic with this conversation.
You won't bring men to your side with that. You'll bring women to your side.
Exactly. Because they tend to argue from emotion.
Yeah. Because I'm what?
I mean, you sound pretty emotional yourself.
Because they tend to argue from emotion. Like, more often than not, a woman is going to argue from emotion rather than just reason. That's just an observation.
Are you just saying that men inherently...
While you want to shout? Like, you're shouting. You don't need to shout, bro. Like, we're not going to talk over you if you have a point. Stop shouting like a woman would do.
You were the one shouting.
You were shouting too, my friend.
Yeah.
In 100% honesty, we're all shouting.
Sorry if my voice is demanding.
Anyway, what was your question? Do I think women are inherently what?
You are screaming into your microphone.
My question was this.
What was your...
Are you saying inherently women do not operate off of IQ and they only operate off of EQ?
No, it's a little more nuanced than that. Just in general, when I observe women getting into disagreements, more often than not, they will make emotional appeals or argue from emotion rather than reason. Mm-hmm. That's not to say that they all do. Just more often than not is my observation.
Also, not to say sometimes they're right.
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah.
Rarely.
Please go, you and me.
Wow, I throw that in, huh?
There's also a study on like the brain compared to men and women, and women it shows that statistics are that women think more emotionally than men, though women have a more complex brain than men do.
I think there's a study I read that there's like a less than 2% difference between male and female brains. Like,
well, that 2% could be encompassed in certain emotional centers. That's like looking at brain scans isn't going to tell you how people are going to behave. Like,
holy shit!
You should just observe how people behave, and in my observation, this is generally what I observe.
I mean, to the degree, and I've been in relationships, you've been in relationships, we've all been in relationships. Emotional appeals do work a lot better than logical arguments.
That's a bit of a bold assumption.
I mean, it.
Yeah, but that, generally speaking, they're not true. Like, for example, people make an emotional argument for like immigrants, like no human is illegal, right? Something like that. Like that doesn't make it the case that we should just allow anyone into this country.
I mean, the perspective may be flawed, but you can.
It's one of the best examples.
Well,
it's one of the best
and I can
examples
show the issue with it. It's that the perspective is, unfortunately, the perspective is baked in ignorance, and somebody else, not even with an opposing, but a more illuminated mindset.
We have a female male here.
What?
Jesus, all you know how to do is throw insults and ad homs. That's sad.
Van, I'm not talking to you. Van, are you trying to make an argument that illegal immigration into our country is a good thing?
No, that there are people that are ignorant and say stuff like, no human is illegal, there's no such thing as a country, because they're arguing from ignorance without actually understanding the full entailment of what they're saying. That's why you need somebody who's more illuminated with the conversation.
They're using emotion over logic.
But no, because that's not emotional, because especially with, and you may not have been here earlier, the issue of what we were talking about earlier, Marxian Hegelian thought that's being, taught within schools, that is of issue being taught in colleges, where people are taught these idiotic ideals of Marxian thought without actually learning anything about them. And
women are taught.
Men are doing it.
Sorry.
All I was simply saying is, this is what people are taught, and unfortunately there are plenty of those whose perspective is flawed in very bad ways, and they need to be illuminated of how that thinking is wrong. But that doesn't mean that they're inherently needing to be despised or subjugated or looked down upon or so on and so forth.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that socialism only starts with women. Like, it has to. It has to.
No, because because Lenin was a man, fucking Marx was a man, like, the entire theory was backed by men.
No, correct.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like not.
Even though I don't like her, biggest push for women being smart, Ayn Rand. I fucking don't even like her. But Ayn Rand is a great example of a smart woman who showed the stupidity of communism.
Right, but in
Of
our
men.
modern version now, okay, that's great. Okay, but in 2025, in our modern version, we've got a couple of women in this channel here now who are I think would put themselves into the bowl of socialism. They'd be like, yeah, I'm a little socialist, right? They don't even know what the fuck they're talking about.
I mean, you could just ask them.
Goimi,
Lanny. Well, hey, Goimi, Lanny, one at a time. What is your political affiliation?
I'm conservative.
Based.
Guillaume?
Okay, shit. There goes half my argument.
You're the other half of the argument. Jesus,
I'm
I like it.
progressive.
I still have half left.
Yeah, I'm left leaning.
What's he trying to argue? Maybe what was this whole debate about?
Literally no idea.
It started off, we kind of devolved, but it was the prescriptions that Krona has when it comes to women and their inherent natural, or their biological necessity, and having to be, you know, I don't know if it was arguments for...
Tendency to vote, to act in a certain way.
Yeah, that there needs to be a necessity, or a tendency to act and vote in a certain way that is not traditional. And he wants to go back to traditional manners, but his prescriptions that he was describing was away from another avenue in which he supported being nuns. Those who avert their natural biological drive and still societally, or he would still advocate to be societally included.
So, Chrono, you would encourage or urge women to procreate?
Yes, of course, I would encourage. I think society, myself, I would, but society, our government, yes, should promote recreation.
Then that's a prescription. As soon as you say should, you're making a prescription.
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. Just want to make sure. I would agree.
Based off of that, do you think it's okay if women don't have kids? Like, do you think that's acceptable?
Yes, of course. As an individual woman, yes, of course. Like, go off and live your own life. Go boss it all you want to. I'm just saying, in the ways that we would have initially treated abortion, right? Even like Hillary Clinton is on record saying things like this, right? It should be rare, but it should be allowed.
Rare, but rare.
It's safe, legal.
Huh?
We don't want to encourage it. We don't want to encourage it. It's a bad thing to encourage.
It should just be outlawed.
That's the point.
Yeah, we shouldn't encourage it, but I think it should be accepted. I think that it should be legal.
It's allowed. It's
you're
allowed.
ending a human life, so I'm not okay with that.
Me too.
Well, I'm heavily pro-choice. I don't think it should be encouraged. Like, hey, if you just get pregnant, just do an abortion first thing. No, explore your options, get educated on what an abortion is, and all that. Like, look through resources.
Okay, I'm actually.
I don't celebrate abortion, but.
I'm in the opposite opinion of you, but for only one reason. And it's because I want more promulgation of stem cell research. And that is one of, unfortunately, the best avenues of going about. Is unfortunately getting it from fetusi extracted during, the abortion process.
Yeah, but have you seen these pictures?
Wow.
I would get, I probably can't even send it.
Your emotional appeal doesn't get me, brother. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that's why I'm not arguing from emotion. We could argue from some principle, but I'm just saying.
No, I know, it was just a callback joke to earlier.
It's pretty gruesome.
It was just a callback joke to
earlier.
I know.
No, I'm saying I'm saying that a lot of people just don't know what an abortion looks like. That's all I'm saying.
That's right. And for years, people on the right were, this is all, it's all conspiracy. Are they actually selling human child parts in part of private business? Like that? No way. That must be a conspiracy. There's no way. But it's all proven now.
I mean,
it's all true. Yes, they sell human child body parts in America, in the United States of America. They sell them They sell them.
You do see the
And
inherent issues with
who-
how
who are
you're
you on the other
describing
side?
it.
Who are you on the
Right.
other side? Who are you on the other side, right, to make arguments about, like, okay, yeah, that's true. We do get. I'm just asking for everyone to be honest, which they never will be. But if you're being honest, where are the embryos coming for your research? From dead, fucking aborted babies.
Yes, because that is the source of what is the stem cells, but we can also get it from fucking placenta post-birth. If anything, it's just that is where the genetic the genetic material is located, and especially when we have the, I feel like I may be alone on this hill, but the discussion of at what point do we consider a fetus in development at what point do we entail this fetus in development the degree of human rights that we decree with man or with citizens?
That's fair. No, I mean, that's fair. I think I wouldn't even cast you into the evil land because you're operating in that domain. Because I think that's fair. That's a fair question because there's the women in this channel would actually agree with you. I think the women in this channel would agree with you.
Wait, what are we?
The woman.
My bad. No, my bad.
they would say they would agree with you to say that's correct. That when I perform an abortion, I'm not killing a human life. I'm only it's
terminating a fetus in development. Well, it's not cells. It's terminating a fetus that's in development.
I'm not murdering. In their mind, though, they're saying I'm not committing murder. I'm committing self-help.
Well, I mean, you're not.
That's how they would view it in their mind.
I know, what's his name? Mage just got back from that type of conversation, but it's not. If we're going upon what is the notion of that separation of this is a fetus, this is a human, the aspects of an unjust killing of another being wouldn't fall upon, that notion wouldn't fall upon an individual's mind up until they actually recognize that this is now a person that deserves the, full human rights that we entail.
That's right. And so when
you're basically pro-life.
When do these women say it's a life? That's the only question, right? And both of them will say it's not a life until it's born, right? Like it's not like these girls' opinions are like formed from their own concept.
You can ask. Guillaume Bunny, at what stage of fetal development are you pro and anti-abortion?
Wait, I'm so sorry. You cut out for me and I tuned out. Could you repeat that? I'm so sorry.
At what point of fetus development do you say that abortion is approved or not approved in your world?
Not approved?
So, like, after 20 weeks, abortions aren't allowed. So, like, let's just say 20... Like, let's say you were... Corona, stop for a second. Let's say you were president of the United States, right? And you can make this decree. At what point would you say abortions are illegal? Would it be post 20 weeks, post 18 weeks? It's not illegal all the way to the point of conceiving?
I'd say it's illegal all 9 months if it's like severe health complications that could result in death. But other than that, I'd say up to 24 weeks under normal circumstances, 20 to 24.
Yeah, ew.
16 to 20 for me. Because that's the development of the prefrontal cortex when we usually
I don't know why
recognize
you
a
need
person.
to say ew. You could just be respectful like a normal human being.
I don't think that you would.
Not when it comes to murdering innocent human lives. Sorry.
Mage, make the argument.
So.
Mage, make the argument.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, make the argument of how they are in
it's
support of murdering a human child. Yeah.
Oh well, I mean, first of all, it's a human life. That's a fact. The argument is going to be whether. Yeah, the question is going to be why should we value human life? I mean, one thing we can appeal to is sentience or the capacity for it. That's generally what I appeal to. If you don't value that, then I don't know what you base your morals on.
Really interesting. So because the sentience cap is, in my opinion, one of the dumbest ways to try and give rights. Are they when they're sentient? I don't think that people are sentient until they're probably, I don't know, 5 years old or something.
Well, okay.
You're talking about metacognition.
Hold on. Don't yell. I'm pretty educated on what I'm talking about. Wow. of course, of course you have experiences that are you maybe can say their experiences in the ages of years of like 3 towards 5, but what comes into memory, I think, is probably the difference, right? That's the next level. Is like, can you remember it? Can you remember it? And
Yeah, I'm
as
just
far as I can tell,
when I say
as far as I
sentience,
can tell,
I'm not talking about any of that. I'm just saying you can feel things. Like that's like ground zero. How about that?
yeah, but that's not convincing to the leftist liberal women who are like, I just want to focus on myself and my own life. That version.
But it's not
of
even
describing life
that, because
is not sufficient.
well, it's
Why is that
also
not
not
sufficient?
well, it's not sufficient because there are equal cases where those who have no ability to deploy a sentient experience that we can ascribe or
Right.
detail, and the issue with that is then at what point are you also then saying that those who are brain dead in a vegetative state are not allowed to be pulled off the plug?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
I think it's that, no, that's
Well,
Yeah, if there's no capacity
that-
for conscious experience, that's when it's okay. I think.
once they're not conscious.
once
Sorry,
Once
say
there's
that
no
once more.
capacity, so someone's brain dead, and the doctors are like, "Yeah, this dude's cooked forever." I'm like, "Okay, you can pull
Right.
him
If there's no ability for his conscious reaction to come back, then we can put him on the fuck.
pull the
off."
plug.
Yeah, intuitively, that's
I mean,
intuitively
he
that's what we
literally
base
can't
our.
survive without a machine.
So
If there's a chance that his consciousness comes back, how long do you hold that person in the hospital?
well, we don't
There's
make
only
that
chance.
decision. The hospital doesn't make that decision. That's the decision for the family. In the same way that it would be
That's
the
not
choice
true.
for the mother. If they don't have a next of kin,
Okay,
hospitals
okay.
don't pull the plug without instruction.
Here's the
What?
thing: if the this is all because we don't know if they're gonna wake up. If the doctors went to the family and they said, "Yeah, your dad, he's gonna wake up in 9 months. You want to pull the plug?" Almost everyone would say no.
Almost every single person would say no. Yeah.
Right. So intuitively,
Yeah.
like we're valuing the capacity to deploy conscious experience.
Which, forgive me, and this goes back then
We're
to
not-
the inverse,
no,
back
no.
to the argument
Let me-
or the
let me
conversation.
formulate.
Krona, please wait
Let me-
1 second. Going back to the inverse with the conversation on abortion, why do you make it the inherent? Forgive me. I don't want to ascribe this to you, but it sounds as if you're saying the inherent fertilization of the egg is the marker of new life, and any procedure would be abortion, instead of my safe argument of 16 to 22 weeks, because that's the developmental of the prefrontal cortex, and that's the point that we can rectify or signify that this is personhood.
If an what do they call it, like a fertilized egg, if it's deploying all the mechanisms of life, then it's by definition a human life at that point, which is what I value. And if that
Definitely.
human life is allowed to grow,
Well, I agree with
What's
you
up?
that definitionally and biologically that is a unique, genetic human life, right? But we do not ascribe value inherently upon human life, right?
yeah, I'm making the case that we ascribe it based on either sentience or the capacity for it.
Yeah, so the capacity to deploy a conscious experience, which is best tied with the
Yeah,
development of the brain.
which a fetus has
So,
as
like,
soon as
let's
it's
just
conceived.
say prior, the sperm has entered the egg, but it hasn't attached to the uterine wall. Why would you be opposed to that form of abortion? Hello?
Hello?
Did you hear
Did
me?
I cut out? No. What'd you say?
With
Hello?
what you were ascribing of, the fertilizing of the egg and whatnot, but your separation is the ability to deploy a conscious experience. Why would you oppose abortion practices where it just stops the egg from attaching to the uterine wall?
How like
That's
It-
within
it-
like the first
I don't-
week of the egg, being
I don't even
Whatever.
think that's possible to know, right? Like most people know they're pregnant after like at least a couple weeks?
Yes, but plenty of this is more, I guess, of an argument for Plan B and whatnot. But I feel like the argument still follows. Like, are you in?
I mean,
are you in support of Plan B or in opposition to it as well? Because this is what Plan B does. It stops the fertilized egg from properly.
Not what Plan B does.
Okay.
It can. I think I looked it up. It was like in super rare cases it can, but by and large, Plan B just prevents conception.
So then, once again, let's say that they were in this hypothetical. Some woman was able to know within the first week of having intercourse that they happen to be pregnant. Would you be against them taking forms of the day after pill or whatever form of,
Oh yeah.
abortive process that they may want?
Oh yeah.
You're against that?
Of course. If they had knowledge that that medicine would prevent implantation, then yeah, that would be murder.
Okay. So, in this fair concept, with all that we're describing, do you think that to safeguard and secure and make sure that there is no miscarriages in the same case, women should be ceased from drinking and whatnot, post-sex?
Ceased from drinking after sex?
Mm-hmm. Because most miscarriages happen from women's environment and action post-sex.
Oh yeah, actually I had a girlfriend that happened to. If we had perfect knowledge, sure, but because reality is just so fuzzy, like I can't fault someone. Like there's millions of things that can happen in anything, anywhere, at any time. I don't fault the woman for that. If they want to be more careful, sure. I mean, I applaud it. But
no, but I'm saying in the same degree as what we have are legal restrictions on what is abortion, why should we not do, for the same reasoning as you ascribe, secure women so they do not have the ability to accidentally miscarriage?
Well, because then by that logic, like, why not just lock everybody up so that they don't have the capacity to accidentally, like, why not ban cars off the road so that people don't accidentally kill someone? That it would be the same logic. Like that's just not feasible.
Well, I agree in reality that it's not feasible, but this is a part of your logic because you are ascribing so much significance to what is just this inherent, unique biological life form. Whereas the necessity in my mind is the significance of the personhood that they become.
It's particularly valuable because of the capacity it has to deploy conscious experience. If it didn't have that, I wouldn't value it.
Okay, then I guess different limelight, but because I am studied on these aspects of, primary consciousness and secondary consciousness, we know, South Asian elephants have the ability to deploy a conscious experience comparable to a human being. Do you believe that, South Asian elephants deserve a degree of protection and right comparable to humans?
So maybe not as a human. Generally, we just tend to value our own species more. But yeah, I think we just shouldn't go around killing animals.
No, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying because of their ability to deploy a conscious experience and the necessity within your ideal to protect that, significant entity, why do we not have a classification and protection, like, let's say a UN assembly, right, for South Asian elephants that are comparable to humans? So if you kill one, it's a fucking murder charge.
Well, I give you a simple.
Oh yeah, because
you're not hold on.
You're saying within my line of logic,
disregarding the main answer. You're not disregarding the main answer, right? Is that they're elephants and that we're humans. Right. I just want to make sure how far stupid you're going to go with your analysis here. That you do understand we are humans. We can kill all of our prey below us. That includes the elephants.
Well, forgive me, because I thought the significance of this argument... Well, I thought the significance of Mage's argumentation line was the ability to deploy a conscious experience. And that is what we value, and that is the significant protections that we provide.
Yeah, but we're talking about when it is and isn't okay to take a human life. So the precondition is that it is human. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so then we have to fully entail that it is human. Okay, yeah.
I mean, it has to be, right, man?
I mean, Yes, but
Could be
nobody has.
retarded, right? Like,
It's not retarded. This is how
do you value an ant life like a human life? No.
This is how you have proper dialectical. If it's never stated, we have to assume, because there are cases like this where, if you say it's the if as what Mage was originally saying, that it is what we need to protect is the ability to deploy a conscious experience, then that would have to be true for other beings that are able to do the same. That's all.
I don't even know what he said or what you said, because your mic and your internet is so dog shit that it cut out 4 or 5 times through that statement.
Oof.
I don't even know what you said. I'm pretty sure no one else did. It's like my internet is bad. Your internet is dog shit. And so no one really was able to understand what you said.
Okay. Once again, what I said was... Please go, Mage.
No, I was just saying you are kind of going in and out.
All I was simply saying...
It's cool.
I got shitty connection, forgive me. But Mage was originally arguing the importance and significance of...
You can fix that with a little bit of capitalism. A little bit of capitalism would fix your
stream, that'll help your internet.
What do you mean?
You're streaming right now.
Yeah, and?
Did you not know that?
No, I know.
Yeah, I'm saying if you kill it, it'll help.
Do you understand what bandwidth is?
Yeah, but everything is running fine. It's just probably my shitty equipment, because it does this constantly.
Okay.
Would you ever, by the way, real quick, would you ever thank the white people for giving you the ability to do what you're doing right now? Black people didn't do it. There was no black people involved.
No,
in fact,
because
zero
I don't go around...
That they gave you your phone, gave you your internet, gave you this entire thing. It was all white people. Would you? I'm not saying you have to bow down to white people.
I mean, by that same logic, you're gonna praise every black person because they had their ancestors had a hand in slavery.
Can you not speak through a soda?
Oh, are you too retarded? Wait, are you too retarded or something?
Yeah, you're gonna have to use English.
Chrono, I know you don't know how to actually argue. Are you gonna thank all the black people for being a part of slavery? You're gonna get on your hands and knees and kiss their feet?
No, I won't.
Why not? They were part of building America.
That's right. I don't give any credit to all the middle people in the middle who also did way more than all the black people did. Like black people, I promise you, the slaves are not creating. I promise you, the black people.
You sound exasperated. Are you okay?
Why? Can you let me answer? Are you angry?
You sound triggered and you're not making sense.
If I say anything negative about black people, are you just going to start talking? It sounds like that's your MO.
What? Are you saying anything negative? It just sounds like you're doing white bullshit.
It sounds like you just want to lie about things for no reason.
You're literally making no sense and showing no evidence, like an idiot.
Yeah, that's why I don't live in the Middle East.
Yep, you agree with me. Yep, you're an idiot. You're a white idiot.
No one cares. No one cares, buddy.
Well, at that point,